that lighting is not just gear, but tools to help you build your business and make more money. Our presenter, Arnaldo Offerman, is from Central Florida. He's been a DJ for 12 years and has been doing lighting design since 2006. He is the Vice President of Premier Entertainment and owner of Master School Dances. He specializes in school dances, but will entertain other types of events that fit his criteria. Make sure to check out Arnaldo's book called Are You Rockin' With the Best? ADG has been following Arnaldo on Facebook and on YouTube for a couple years now, and we believe that Arnaldo represents an entertainer that has added more lighting excitement to his parties with his lighting. So, ladies and gentlemen, Arnaldo Offerman.
So this is exciting because we're going to laugh, we're going to cry, and that's only by paying the tolls to enter here. Again, my name is Arnaldo Offerman here with Master School Dances with ADJ. We're going to talk about maximizing your lights. Now, this isn't just about taking a light and getting the most use as far as brightness, but I mean literally virtual every use. Part of the reason that I really enjoy this particular topic is For Schools Only, which is the school division of Premier Entertainment, is what helped our company really grow. We do incredibly large school dances. We started 5-6 years ago doing these $1,500 dances. Now you can add another 0 to the back of that. And we're growing in natural lighting. That's uplights, gobos, textures, moving heads, floods, you know, things to make the room look pretty. Party lighting, moving heads, floods, strobes, beams, moonflowers, you know, what we call the typical DJ light. And you can either take that as something very simple or something very elaborate. And then of course your special lighting, your black lights, RGB, or the RGB lasers, your strobes, anything like that. Notice of course there's very simple things like moving heads. You're going to see moving heads in architectural lighting. You'll see it in party lighting. You may even see it in the special lighting as well. But what you cannot do when you design your business plan is you can't pick and choose, meaning, well, I'm going to do just party lighting. I don't want to get into the big productions, but I'm also going to offer gobos too and maybe some uplighting. If you're going to offer gobos and uplighting, then you're getting into architectural lighting. And I know it sounds, when they were designing, and in case you don't know me well enough, I love Apple. I have a sick obsession with Apple and everything they do for marketing. But when they were designing the iPhone, somebody asked Steve Jobs, well, what is your client base going to think about, and this isn't verbatim, but what is your client base going to think about, you know, are they going to worry or complain about the iPhone not having a tactile keyboard? And Steve Jobs' response is, they're going to learn to like it. And that's essentially what it is. And if you guys remember when the iPhone first came out, what was the #1 complaint? It doesn't have a keyboard. Now you're hard-pressed to even find phones nowadays that have a good keyboard coming out of them. And that's the way that I sell it. I'm not going to tell my clients, hey, you're going to learn to love it. But if a client tells me, well, I don't want any lighting. Well, why don't you want lighting? Maybe they have a legit reason. Maybe they just don't want lighting. Maybe it's going to be a very elegant wedding in terms of a rustic feel or something. They don't want that. And again, this was a tent wedding. They were, you know, outdoors in a tent. They had a fireworks show at the end. They wanted things to be really energetic, upbeat. At first, the bride didn't think she wanted strobe lights, but then when she saw another video that we did, and we showed her we could do it with strobe lights, and she loved it.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And again, everything was timed, so at the end, when we said their names, everything turned white, and then it slowly faded back to anyone there too. So it would look like you guys are dancing on water. Okay. The beams would be perfectly synced with your wedding colors. Now you want to talk about setting scenes throughout the evening. It's not just going to be the lights doing the exact same thing. You don't bring that kind of light show and not bring some sort of control or firepower. And then once the party begins, you kick on a little haze, you have more fun with the lights. A business plan. If you don't have a business plan, you put everything down and you write on that right away. So again, using versatile fixtures is one very important thing, but you have to also go with good programming. And again, I cannot stress how important DMX is for this. We'll go over the pros and cons in a minute. But you can go from an elegant look to a very rave-esque look in one click. And this particular wedding was all going to be done outside. It has examples of creating different scenes and different themes. Because two things happen with this, and I'm seeing it from if I was programming it. When everybody walks in, this is what they're seeing. This is what they're seeing for the first dance. What happens once the actual open dancing begins? Those gobos disappear, because now they're moving around the room, they're doing different effects. But that's what happens. Now you have a room to look like that at the beginning, and then halfway through when the dancing begins, it looks completely different. We create the scene with all those steps on it, and then we can adjust it as needed. That's how I program for a first dance now. I just go choose all the switches, get what I want, click for scene, say it first dance, name it, and I'm good to go. And of course, Matrix. When we did the uplighting, we wanted the uplights for this past wedding in Ohio. They had 22 uplights all the way around the room. And we did some really cool programs for them. And then they're like, can you incorporate these facades besides strobes? We use our shutter chases. If you don't know what a shutter chase is, we have, like, for example, our moving heads. Instead of strobing, this one turns on, then this one turns on, that one turns on, that one turns off. Then they turn off in sequential order, and we speed it up. It looks like a strobe, but it's not as fast as a strobe. Or even having the colors quickly change. This is a huge advantage of LEDs. You can quickly go from one to the other. Save the strobes for that big rush, and that's how we incorporate it into weddings. It doesn't have to be a huge lighting job, but you want to avoid overkill. Now what I mean by that is, how many of you guys get like a Sweet 16 where they just want simple lights, they want it to look good? Why would you, and I asked this, like, when I go out with the DJ, like, why would I bring a huge light tech for something like that? For example, this is a small school. It's a middle school, actually. And when they gave me their budget, I told them, well, with your budget, I can do 4 lights, or I can do, 6 to 8 lights. You see the laser, you see the 2 complementaries in the middle, you see the floods and the special effects on the sides. I can do that, or I can bring 4 floods with a technician, because it's going to cost me the same. Because get this. So by using lighting, it does, the stars across the ceiling, and then we use one of the laser ripple effects, and then we use a water effect type light. We recreated the actual northern lights as close as we could over their dance floor, and to me that was much better than what a video screen could do, because that we can take the exact same show, charge double simply because there's trust, and that's what's helped with schools. Trusting, I can talk to you guys later on about this, and again, find me an outdown. Okay, it's not in your budget. How about we use these awesome panels where we can do pixel mapping, and we can do the New Year's Eve countdown. And it's going to look really cool, especially with the haze, when you just see those beams coming out as the numbers are out there. Rentals, start talking to your hotels, start talking to country clubs. Obviously a hotel like this one can afford a nice, really nice contract with an AV company. I can't do that because they have that contract, but I can go to my country clubs and say, why don't you guys offer uplighting? Why don't you guys offer video? So, with that being said, that's basically it. You can use different scenes, different themes. You can use white lights for anything you imagine, trussing, graduations, and last but not least, fusion with video like you saw there. Sorry for going over time, I just realized what the time is. If you have any, oh my god, I forgot to ask questions out there, you have 3 options. You can email me, you can call or text me, because I'm not picking up the phone this week. Better yet, again, I'll be at the iDJ Now booth with ADJ. I'll also be at Global Trust, so if you guys want to find me, I'll be there as soon as the show opens. Ask me any questions, I will be happy to answer. If you